Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Susie Say That. Today's topic is a question. Do you have a safe space that you can share information about your adult children? That's the question. Do you have that safe space? Because many I find don't have that safe space. They think it's a safe space. Maybe they ain't got burnt enough with people, places, and things, I guess. I don't know. But I know a lot of us don't have a safe space, and we think it's a safe space. We get on that phone and we start sharing about what's going on in our lives and what's going on with the people that we're dealing with, our jobs, and etc. and etc. But when you start sharing about your adult children and your children in general, but mine is to be specific about your adult children because they're adults now and you're an adult. So sharing is very important in that when your children become adults. I mean, I could tell you some stories about sharing information with people about my adult children, and it wasn't safe. And I thought it was safe. I thought that, I could just share this. They added on stuff. They took away stuff. They lied on me and said I said things that I didn't. I have never, not once, talked about my children in a negative way where it would have hurt them or destroyed them. Never. I've always held those things very close to my heart. But I done got angry with them and we done had a falling out or something. Of course I share with those that I can share with those that I trust. And there's nothing wrong with that. Healthy people know how to share and where to share. Okay? And there was a lot of times in my life I wasn't healthy, so I was sharing with the wrong people. When I was very young, someone said to me, "You share too much." It was like they were scolding me about it. They was like, "You share too much. You just share, and you just share all your life." And I found out that was foolishness, because those spaces that I was sharing with cared nothing about me, and I was sharing in those spaces, and I learned a lot of lessons about that. And I thank God about that. I learned the lessons that I'm still not a fool like I was then, and I trusted people. I used to trust people so that I believed that if I said something that it was just the way it was and that they, wasn't going to go back and talk about it. But I find through my own life experiences and much observation that you should know who you're sharing with in that space. Because your children, it's important that you don't cause confusion and keep up mess with your adult children. And that's kind of hard to do when everybody is being influenced by everyone else. She said this, they said that, and all that kind of stuff. That means that you don't let too many people come into your private space about your adult children when they can take and use everything against you. The innocent things of just conversation. Let me just tell you what my daughter or my son did. He knew he was wrong, or she knows she was wrong. They shouldn't have did that. Even that, just that simple thing could turn into a snowball effect. It can become bad because they don't feel the same way you feel about your children. And maybe they feel in some kind of way about their own children. And maybe they're jealous, or maybe I don't know what it could be for them. But I just know that we all should know the space that we're sharing information with about our adult children. I have some great people in my life. I really do. I thank God for them all the time because we get on the phone sometime or get in person. We travel. I have traveling sisters, and we all talk about our children. And we talk about, it's not in a bad way. We talk about the highs, the lows, the in-betweens. We laugh about them, and we're sure they do the same thing about us because we're talking about life experiences. We're talking about things that have taken place in our lives, or things, the decisions that your adult children make. We're talking about all kinds of things about our family when we get together. And I have not once heard anyone not share about theirs or what they got going on. Let me tell you about this, and let me tell you what, Susie, what your kids been doing? Girl, they do working, they doing this and they doing that. And so this is their season where they ain't got on my nerves. This is a season where I ain't got nothing bad to say. They're doing amazing. And then there's been other seasons where I said, let me tell you what she did, or let me tell you what he did. But guess what? I have the likewise friends that do the same thing. We're in safe spaces with each other. And now I've had some spaces. A couple of years ago, I had a space that wasn't safe and I thought it was. And I had to do something with that space. I had to say, no, I can't share with this person ever again about my children because they used it against me. And I know they did. They used it against me because they would have never known those things to that degree about one of my children if I would not have to share with them in that space. And I shared, and they used it against me. They really did. And they said something about my daughter that bothered me. It just bothered me because I was like, come on. Because if we're going to talk about kids, I can say a lot of stuff about your children. But why would I do that? I don't do that. I don't talk about people's adult children in a negative way. And I definitely, my children cannot say that I've ever came to my own children and talked about my friends' children. That's another problem that I find that something's wrong here. When you get together in a safe space and people are sharing about their children, this and that, then you go and tell your children. Come on. What's wrong with that? You're not going to say anything is wrong with that, because won't you just talk about your own children to your children instead of other people's children to your children? You know, someone's sister knew something about someone's daughter and told her sister. And then the sister told her best friend. And the daughter and mom was into it. The daughter was upset. And her mother felt, I thought I trusted that person. We were talking about our kids. Now, my question was, did she say anything about her own children? That's a sign something's wrong here. You don't have to be the one to always been, because if her kids are in a good season, if her kids are in a bad season, and she won't even tell you that they're in a bad season, but she suck up information every time you talk about your children, you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. You can't check her because that's who she or he is. You have to check yourself. Why do you share in your space things about your children to people that won't share anything about theirs? All they share is nothing but good. Their kids is in good, and their adult children in the good season every day. Their adult children ain't nothing going on in their life. They're married, but they got nothing going on. They ain't got no kind of issues. You got to watch yourself with those kind of people. You really do. And I'm not saying get rid of them, because that takes time to get rid of and clear up your space, your sharing space. It takes time. It takes a lot of discernment. You got to really know what's going on here within yourself, because you can't just put the scope on other people. You got to find out, why are you sharing? Like I did. Why am I sharing? Did I want to be accepted? Why am I sharing personal information with people that take and use it against me? Why am I doing that? Let me check me out. Let me see what's going on with me. I'm not going to be upset with these people, but when I start cutting people off for this kind of behavior, then I'm going to know exactly why I cut them off. I'm going to know they were not healthy for me. I'm going to know that I got to have peace in my space. I have to have transparency. I have to have kindness and love. I love my adult children, and I'm sure you do too. So then why would I want to share about their personal things or anything else in a space that is not safe? Because that person don't trust you, because you're sharing with them about your life. Because some of us are just sharers. You're sharing with them about your life, your relationship with your children, and they taking it, just breathing it all in. They ain't even breathing out, because if they breathe out, they scared they may say something about theirs. But they just taking it and just eating it up. They just can't stand themselves because they're waiting to use it against you or use it for themselves. I don't know. People do things for different reasons. But I can tell you this. Ask yourself, is the space I'm sharing safe? If it's not safe, I need to check myself. Okay? Till next time.